You went down every aisle at Woolies, didn't you? Got some kiwi fruit? I'm burning a lot of nervous energy here. I did.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to historic Knights Field, located in Castle Hill, Sydney. Got a bit of bronze medal action in the New South Wales Junior League state titles. Manley on Hills Blue action, both teams playing earlier today. Strike one called. Both teams playing in elimination games earlier this morning. Hills Red versus Hills Blue. Shows bunt. Does Max Playley. And if you were just watching, we had Cronulla get a win over Manley 2-0. Going to run you down the Hills lineup very quickly. You are currently watching Max Playley take the leadoff spot, followed by Zach Martin, James Leclerc and Jaden Jang as your top four. Jet Creamer, Tamati Steely, Sam Hawke, Ben Fogarty and Cody Jeffs round out the 9. But again, as it's a junior league, we are allowed to hit through 12. So Ryan Heo, James Lansom and Tom Hayhow round out the Borkham Hills lineup. Pitching, or at least defensively for Manley. On the bump, you've got Jack Kelly, who, if I'm not incorrect, closed out the previous game. Playley's going to strike out the first batter of the day. Beyond Jack Kelly, who is going to be hitting 3-hole for Manley, a bit of a two-way star. You've got Jackson Page behind the dish. Around the outfield, you've got Justin Turner. Oh, lovely bit of a parody with some MLB players in centre field. Is that Sterling Stewart in right field? Digby Ross around the horn. Start with Johan Thompson, Harry Webb, Kobe Patrick, and Max White at first. Strike, call. Should make it 0-2 on Zach Martin. Popped up, way foul back there. That'll find its ways. One for the younger brothers and sisters to go and grab. Again, we're here at historic Knights Field, Castle Hill, home of Cohen. Oh, ball grounded, left side. Grabbed on the hop. Fired in and out. As I was just mentioning, the Castle Hill Knights, the home of LG Twins star starting pitcher Cohen Wynn. He'll be starting for the LG Twins, I believe, at 3 o'clock today in Korea. So if you hold on with us for the next 2 games, you might be able to catch the end of Cohen Wynn's start. Alternatively, just go the double box. That'll also be a bit of fun. Grounded right side from the 3-hole. Picked up on the back foot and White able to squeeze on it to close out the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first. Manley still yet to get a swing in. It's 0-0. Running down the lineup for Manly. Harry Webb, Kobe Patrick and Jack Kelly are your lead-off three that you will, at least without a doubt, see in this inning. Max White, Justin Turner, Jackson Page, Dylan Glamour, Johan Thompson and Jackson Manners. Again, get to hit through 12, so you'll also see Ali Cameron, Digby Ross and Sterling Stewart round out the lineup. Defensively for the Hills, we've got Cody Jeffs in left. As Webb's going to foul one right side. Cody Jeffs in left. Got Tom Hayhow in centre and James Lansom in right. Ball in the dirt around the horn. Jane and Jang at third. James Leclerc at shortstop. Zach Martin at second and Jet Creamer at first. On the bump, the Birdman Sam Hawke. And behind the dish, Tamati Steely. Two and two count early to Harry Webb, sorry, not Harley. Swings on it, right side. Grab and go. Harry Webb's going to get retired for the first out of the afternoon for Manly. Zach Martin with fairly well, almost off-handed grab. Does bring up Kobe Patrick. Give you Sam Hawke's pitching numbers on the tournament. He's only had 2 outings, one on April 24th, one on April 26th. Has pitched 7 total. That 6 inning outing that he had was on the 26th. Allowed no hits, no runs, only 2 walks. Got 11 strikeouts that day. That is quite a good statistical run. Exactly what you want to see from your starter. Ball called outside. Patrick really not looking for that. Got a 1 and 2 count. And he rung him up. How's that for a first strikeout of the day? He's only got 10 more to go to meet his tournament par. Brings up a 3-hole hitting Jack Kelly. Again, Jack Kelly did come in for a closing assignment in the previous game and is now starting in the bronze medal match. Strike 1 called. Some pitcher-on-pitcher violence early. Now, for those of you that weren't tuned into the previous game, I am aware that Jack Kelly hit an absolute line shot. For those of you that can see that outfield fence, that big tarp on the far left, it's got D.I. Jones. There's an advertiser on it. He hit that on the full, which is not exactly close. He's unable to beat out the ground ball there, however. We head to the second. Both teams held with donuts, 0-0. top of the second. Third baseman Jaden Jang going to be our leadoff guy. He'll be followed by Jet Kramer and Tamati Steely. Strike one called on young Jaden Jang, a Carlingford junior. Carlingford Baseball Club, home to a surprising assortment of excellent baseball players. As Jaden Jang, it's an absolute line shot over the shortstop's head, puts first base runner of the day on for Hills Blue. And unfortunately gives away the perfect game and the no-hitter. Shutout is still available. Just keeping you updated on all the amazing things that Jack Kelly could do. Hills Blue entering today with a 4-2 record. Manley with a 4-1. Might be 4-2. I'm not sure if our stats page has updated. Blue with a 52 scored, 20 runs against and a 32 differential. Manley got 50 and 13, so 37 is their diff. Jaden Jang already at second. He's already off and going to third. Swing, ball passed, and Jaden Jang with a pop-up slide already. Even a thought of home. Again, Jaden Jang, a Carlingford junior. Carlingford home to quite a large variety of surprisingly good players. Kobe Cuthbert, a name that most of you might know. Jaden Jang's gone. Ball past the catcher, and that'll be the first run of the game for Hills Blue. First run scores. Unfortunately, that also takes the shutout away from young Jack Kelly. Except how's the PFP? Not exactly going to argue with that. Jet Kramer will take the ground out. Now, there was some talk earlier today about MVPs. What stats do you look at? How do you cut it all up? Now, Jack Kelly, for however good he has pitched this tournament, he's also got a 6.15 average over the tournament. Ben Fogarty, who was also hitting 6.15, I believe at the sister ground, Castle Glen, which is only a matter of kilometres, if that, probably even less. It's closer to an Olympic track away. They had cones set up there as it was an open field, and instead of the fences we've got at historic Knights Field. I believe Ben Fogarty went deep. Once, if not twice. Popped up, sent up. And is able to get tracked down. So that'll bring up the third hitter of the inning for Hills, Tamati Steely. Catcher, hitting 6-hole. Going to tell you about Steely's tournament thus far. He's got a 444 on base, exactly what you want to see from your catcher. They don't have to hit hard, they just have to get on base and roll the lineup card over. He'll swing on one, left side. And he just gets beat out by the play. Unfortunately for Steely, that'll end the inning. But not before Hills do get on the board. We head to the bottom. Hills finally breaking open the scoring, 1-0. tell you folks now, and I'll tell you once, it is about to be the starting time for Cohen Win up in Korea. But I do beg that you at least keep us tuned in for some equally as high-level baseball content. White, Turner and Page, the 4-5-6. Due up for Manley. Strike one called from the Birdman, Sam Hawke. Take you around the grounds. The Braves and the Dodgers are playing. They're in the top of the 8th. The Dodgers currently leading the Braves 10-3. Unfortunate for us Braves fans around the world. Ball well and truly up and away. For those of you that are more football inclined that are tuning in, the Bulldogs are currently leading the Titans 14-8. And a lead-off walk for White. And Slippery Rock, a Division II college, had a 0-6 loss to Seton Hill University. And runner goes, stands up, tag not in time. Runner in scoring position for Manley. Just got told, Matt Adams, big Braves power hitter, used to be a alum of Slippery Rock University. Ball called. Another ball down and away, this time to Justin Turner, who's now patrolling the box. Looking at the spray charts now, I was incorrect. Fogarty does have the leading average for Hills Blue, but it is Hawke. Birdman Sam Hawke with the 2 home runs. Again, a dual threat pitcher and hitter. A lot of Shohei Ohtani types these days, which is always good to see. Does help the game evolve. I'm also getting word that Birdman Sam Hawke can catch as well, so one of those very rare triple threat talents. Turner going to get himself rolled over and struck out.
Go on, Jackson.
Brings Jackson Page up to the plate. 6-hole hitting Jackson Page. Ball up. No movement from White at second beyond his steal earlier. I'd almost be surprised if they leave him here for too long. Pieced, Page out to centre field. Taken in stride by Hayhow. And that'll retire 2. So Hawke trying to work his way out of a scoring opportunity. Dylan Glamour now up to bat. Strike one called. Fastball. One thing that I have been keeping an eye on is that radar. Just look at how fast these kids are pitching. Strike. 69. It is just insane Just a reminder, these kids are 14 and 15 years old and they are pitching already almost into the 70s. Some of them, I do believe, are touching 70 and the high 70s, if that. Swung on. Lined over the third baseman, Jaden Jang, and they're going to send him. He's going to go. He's going to get in, and he's going to get in standing up at that. Jaden Jang taking the cutoff. And what's going to be the response blow from Manley? It'll even up the game at 1-1. Johan Thompson now up to bat. But a beautiful shot from Dylan Glamour over Jaden Jang's head. Popped up this time, left side. And again taken in stride by an outfielder, this time to Jeffs. And we head to the third. Manley with some retribution, 1-1. Eight, 9, and 10 due up for Hills Blue. Fogarty, Jeffs, and Heo. Top of the third in a 1-1 ball game. I've just been told between innings that they're not 14 and 15, they're 13 and 14, which for those of us that are just out of our junior years does make us feel even older. Time called incredibly late there. Jack Kelly already driving towards the plate. Strike call. Fogarty batting on the tournament. And get those numbers up for you. Again, he's got that 615 average. He's got a 722 on base. A 1415 OPS. I say this just about every time I get on commentary that anything above 1,000 is elite. Anything above 700 on the OPS, it's pretty good. Ball gets out to the right field, and he gets cut down at first. Ben Fogarty almost hitting it too well. Gets past Patrick at second. Picked up by Ross out and right, who just cuts him down at first. How often are you going to see a 9-3 put out? Strike one called. 72. See what I'm talking about, folks? You want to see the next generation of Australian baseball? I would suggest turning off Cohen Wynn, and I would suggest turning back on to the New South Wales Junior League state titles. 1 and 2. Check on him. No, he didn't. Make it 2 and 1, sorry, not 1 and 1. It was very, very close. It was going to be a 2 and 1 count. Ball low. Three and one. Jack Kelly has been dominating with that fastball throughout the tournament. And fires one in. It'll be strike two. A full count develops. But again, it's not just about what they're throwing initially. It's the secondary options, which for Kelly is curveball and a slider, which you aren't going to see on that pitch. It's going to be a fastball in the dirt. Puts Jeffs up on first base. Ryan Heo now up to bat for Hills. Pick-off attempt and safe. Yes, Kelly throughout the tournament has also been throwing the old Uncle Charlie. Another pick-off attempt. The old Uncle Charlie change-up. He's also got a killer curveball and has recently developed a slider that breaks all 17 inches across that plate. One and oh count. Jeff's not looking too aggressive over at first. Can't imagine he'd be stealing. No, ball two. Strike one call. Ball just getting away from the catcher. And strike two. Another dominant fastball getting fired in from Jack Kelly. Ball down. Just not clipping the zone. 3-2 count. Load him up with two dead. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've got to imagine the fastball's coming here. Swung on, right side. Taking his time and gets his guy. Kobe Patrick with not a stutter step, but making sure he's got his feet planted right. And if I'm not incorrect, that's now two out. Does bring James Lanson up to bat, right fielder. Swings on the first pitch. Swings on the first pitch and fouls it directly back and almost into the press box. Lanson on the tournament. Doesn't seem to have had much time with the stick, but has spent a lot of it around the pill. 2/3 of an inning against MacArthur on the 25th. Backed up on the same day against the Far North Coast. Put 7 innings of work in. They had 4 hits, 3 runs, but only one of them was earned. 7 Ks during that outing against the Far North Coast. Through 92 pitches on that game. It's going right side. And he'll get him again. Patrick able to range over and find his man. Hills unable to make any use of a handful of base runners. We head to the bottom. Still a tied ball game, 1-1. 9, 10, 11. Due up for Cronulla. You got Manners, Cameron, and Ross that you'll, without a doubt, see in this inning. Some information about a handful of the Hills players. They submitted some names, some dates, some memories throughout their baseball history just prior to the tournament. As Manners is going to pop one up right side, and parked under it is Jet Kramer for the first out of the inning. Jet Kramer, Quakersville Pirate Juniors, favourite team of the Dodgers, which, again, for a Braves fan is unfortunate to see. Went to the World Series with his mates. Oh, haven't got a date on that, but it is his favourite baseball memory. As a Dodgers fan, I'm going to assume it was sometime between the years of 2017 and last year. Strike called. And strike 2 called. So we have got the Birdman Sam Hawke dominating with the fastball as well. Some hands thrown at it. Does Cameron. Fouls it away, keeps himself alive in the at-bat. So don't be surprised if you see an off-speed pitch from the Birdman. Goes fastball down and away. Doesn't clip the zone just as much as you'd want it to. Swung on again and fouled directly back this time. Now, I mentioned that Castle Hill Knights, home of Cohen Wynn's winter ball team, the Castle Hill Knights, but look around the press box and there are a lot of very important baseball names. Chris Rofe, the Nadai family, the Cuspit family, the Dormers, all part of it. We've got a life members wall that has, you know, at least in terms of Sydney baseball, some of the most important names. Don Petroff, Roger Drower, ball down and away. So Cameron is going to draw the walk and put a runner on. Solomon Maguire, farmhand for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pick-off attempt to no avail. We've got Digby Ross now up to bat. Digby swings on it, goes well foul into bullpen just over the first base foul line. Down that first base line, you see the dugout, Manley's dugout rather. Just beyond that is a pair of bullpens, and just beyond that is one of the best batting tunnels I've ever had the pleasure of using. Runner goes. Popped up. Jaden Jang going to park under it. And they're going to make the double play. Cameron getting a little too big for his britches. And Jaden Jang's going to fire over to first to cut him down. We head to the top of the fourth. Still a 1-1 ball game. Jack Kelly going to return to the bump for Manly. There's the three you're going to see for Hills in this inning. If I can find a name here, it would be great. Do believe it's going to be Tom Hayhow, and then back to the top with Max Plale and Zach Martin. Almost on cue. Tom Hayhow, name finally comes up on our scorecard. Swings over strike two. Swings over strike three and down for a drop third strike. Manly are going to go around the horn. Back to the top, Max Plale, sorry. Due up to bat. Struck out in his only appearance so far today. Just going to chop one down and foul. You can hear the booming voice of Mr. the Butcher to those that know him, Steve Rosenveer, the third base coach for Hills Blue. Strike two called. Plale, a Castle Hill Knights junior, also a fan of the Dodgers, and swings over strike three. It's his second one on the day. We'll bring up Zach Martin. Strike one called. Zach Martin grounding out to shortstop Webb. His first trip up to the plate. Swings over strike two. Zach Martin being more than productive. Got 235 average throughout the tournament, a 350 on base for a 644 OPS, but it's not always about the stick. He's been more than perfect with the glove. He's only allowed one error. It was in the first game of the tournament. So to make it through to the bronze medal game, only allowing one error, should get you a Gold Glove award at the very least. Curveball from Kelly. Spiked in the dirt about 6 inches in front of the plate. We've got a couple players in this game that made their AYC debuts, Jack Kelly being one of them. Made their AYC debuts earlier this year. So Kelly pitching from about 5 or 6 foot in front of where he normally would be. He is more accustomed to the 60 foot 6 inches of Major League ball. Martin's going to draw a walk. 3-hole hitting. James Leclerc now up to bat for Hills. Leclerc, a Castle Hill Knight junior as well. Played for the Drop Bears last year. Sees strike one. Played for the Drop Bears last year on a trip to the States. Playing all the way up PA, not exactly in Williamsport, but in surrounding areas. Handful of players made their way to Williams Grove Speedway one night for tribute to the drivers, calling out to start their engines. Runner goes, foul back. McClure also grounded out in his first at-bat today, this time to the right side at Patrick. Pick off attempt, but I think I got a bit more than he wanted. Just going to make sure that Zach Martin's A-OK. Now, for any locals that play around the Hills area, and Hills Metro or Hills Junior might know Knights Field colloquially as the Dinger Dome. Short fences, and if the wind blows out, anything that's popped up is more than likely going to find its way over a set of trees. I think if you're not careful, at least in this, or if not the gold medal game, if someone can get a hold of it, every chance you see a 14-year-old hit a home run on what is effectively a big boy field. Paramedics making their way out to Martin. Always a tense moment when someone's gotten injured, so I'm going to take a step away from the mic for a minute and we're going to have a moment's debrief. Been given word that Zach Martin's going to stay in the game. The strong little tacker that he is. Take a licking and keep on kicking. Don't be he is a fast little player. That's the reason why he's hitting in the 2-hole, but don't be terribly shocked if he isn't as mobile during this inning. Take the words right out of my mouth. He's going to go and he's going to turn. No, he's not. That ball was steamed out to Justin Turner in left field. Martin opened up the hole. Webb went over to take the steal. Take the throw-over attempt, rather, and almost like clockwork, Leclerc fired one in where Webb was standing only a matter of seconds prior. Strike one called, this time on Jaden Jang, Carlingford Jr. again. Fan of the San Diego Padres, so potentially some rivalry between players on the Hills Blue team. Played in the Association Cup finals previously. I personally have had the pleasure of coaching young Jaden Jang, and I say that he might be one of the best kids that I've ever coached or ever witnessed play the game. Well, there's a reason why he's here, let's put it that way. Martin going to take the pick off. Webb shading over more on second. Jaden Jang line to Justin Turner out and left in his first at-bat of the day. So Webb shading over as much as he is to cut down Martin. They're going to back pick on him. Martin's going to get just in, keep his foot on the bag. With Webb shading over as much as he is on the bag, it is surprising that you're not going to drag Thompson over ever so slightly to almost cut away that 6-hole. Martin's going to go. Double steal attempt, and Jaden Jang's going to take a Johnny Cash all the way up the line, folks. Brings up the 5-hole hitter, Jet Kramer. Ball one. Well and truly outside. Time call. We're going to have a chat with Jack Kelly, and it's only at 66, 67 pitches. So it might just be a preventative measure with 2 out and loaded bases just to have a chat and make sure that Kelly can get through the inning. Can't see anyone warming up for Manly. As I mentioned minutes ago, Kelly did close out a previous game, pitched 19 pitches in that. Puts him quite close to the limit for Junior League, but Jet Kramer, current batter, got a 438 average, a 526 on base, and well, would you look at this, an 875 slugging. Some of the best I've seen all tournament. Gives him a 1401 clean OPS. It's hit 2 home runs. Kelly's de-gloved. Partially de-belted. Minor wardrobe malfunction. He's going to do away with the previous maroon and going to take a completely new belt altogether. Pitchers and their weird superstitions. Can't live with them, can't live with them. Got a keen eye. You can see that Hill's red. The winners of the first game this morning down and warming up in the cages. As mentioned a minute ago, Jet Kramer got 2 home runs on the tournament. One of them was what we'll call a Little League home run, as it was in the park, but one got out at Castle Glen on the 24th against Gerard, and what was that second one on the 25th against MacArthur? So back-to-back days, back-to-back home runs. Kramer getting given the swing away signal. 1-2 count. Runners on. And 2 dead. Fouls left side. The 1-2 count. Swings on it, popped up, left side. Thompson shading just into foul territory. We'll take it in. Jack Kelly, after a minor wardrobe malfunction, leaves ducks on the pond for Hills. As we head to the bottom, still a 1-all ball game. Birdman Sam Hawke is going to retain his spot on the mound for Hills. So going to have the 12-1 and 2 due up for Manley. Going to see Sterling Stewart, Harry Webb and Kobe Patrick, a.k.a. centre field, shortstop and second base. 2-0 count. Wants to give, decides against it. Strike one called on him, however. Haven't had any defensive changes for either squad, as that one's going to buzz the tower. That'll be a base runner or Manley, a leadoff guy on with none out. Just making sure that young Sterling is good to go. Unfortunately, no HIA situation in baseball, as we are a non-contact sport, but if we did, got to imagine that the correct precautions would have been taken. Back to the top of the lineup, Harry Webb and Kobe Patrick. And that one will be called a balk by the first base umpire, Stephen Dredge. Considered a quick pitch. Didn't come to enough of a set. Balk's always a contentious rule. Sterling's going to go for third. Jaden Jang covers in and gets his man. To Marty Steely with an absolute gun throw behind the back of Webb. And Jaden Jang with safe hands to get some leather on it and make the play. Webb's going to swing on one, drive it to deep left center field, and oh, he's got it! Oh my Lord, would you look at that? Hey Mum, look what I found. Hey, how on the stride, able to find his way out and get that. Hitting can only get you so far when you've got defense as good as that. Brings Kobe Patrick up to the dish. That is just a fantastic grub out in center field and deep left center as well. It's not as though that was hit shallow or on line. That was, yeah, way out on the fence. Strike called on Patrick. Makes it a 1-1 count. Ball down, getting away from Steely. They do say that offense wins games and defense wins championships. Thank you, Michael Jordan. As Patrick's going to swing, going to ground, going to send it to Leclerc, who's going to send it to Creamer, who after all of that is going to close out the inning. Some absolutely fantastic defensive plays. Bottom half of the fourth, but we're headed to the fifth. Still a tied game, 1-1. those of you that are supporting Australian baseball elsewhere, Cohen Wynn currently through 3 innings in his start for the LG Twins. The Twins are leading 5-1. The only hit against the Twins that Cohen has given up was a home run, but has blanked the rest of the lineup. However, speaking of pitches, pitching change for Manley. We've got Dylan Glamour moving from the bench into the pitching role. Elsewhere, Turner, Webb and Ross still patrolling the outfield. Thompson, Kelly and White retain their spots on the infield, but Sterling Stewart comes from centre field to second base. That one was Webb out there in centre field, Harry Webb, going from shortstop to centre. Jack Kelly from the pitching mound to shortstop. Just catching myself up on the happenings between innings. Looks like Page stayed behind the dish. Ball down and away on the Birdman Sam Hawke. Strike one called. What can I tell you about Dylan Glamour, the current pitcher? He's thrown 4.2 innings. 4 of them were in a a closing role against Cronulla. Happened on the 25th, so well and truly over a week ago. We had no hits, no runs, no errors, or no earned runs, rather, not no errors. No hits, no runs, none of them earned, only 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. That covers the whole tournament for Glamour. He strikes out another. Take his count to 9. Will he touch double digits? Obviously, he's got an ERA of nothing. Batting average against of nothing. Those of you that are more involved in the... Oh, swung on right side and a stand-up grab out and right to close out the inning. Quite a quick 1, 2, 3. We head to the top. Oh, the bottom, sorry. Still a 1-all ball game. Jack Kelly, Max White and Justin Turner, your 3, 4, 5 hitters, all due up for Manly. Kelly, at least on a statistical level, the most productive batter that Manly have during this tournament. It's got that 615 batting average, or at least coming into this game, the 615 batting average that, if it isn't the best in the tournament, it's got to be up there. And if I'm not incorrect, the Birdman Sam Hawke is going to see out the fifth. High and tight. That'll be a ball. Makes it 2-0. Cool change just coming through Castle Hill. About that time of the day. Kelly doesn't want it. It's going to get called a strike regardless. Makes it a 2-1 count, bottom of the fifth. Presumed start time of the gold medal match between Hills Red and Cronulla, roughly about 5 o'clock. At least it's what we're expecting. It'll be a lead-off walk for Kelly.
Let's go, Whitey.
So with a tied ball game as we draw to the later stages of this bronze medal matchup, don't be surprised we see some action on the base paths. Sam Hawke going down to meet his pitching coach halfway, but very quickly told to get back up on the mound. A bit of tea and crumpets. He's going to stay in. One of the beauties of this fine establishment of historic Knights Field is a multi-sports complex. We have soccer fields, there's basketball fields here at Fred Catterson Reserve, the all-encompassing area. I believe there's an RC track, a BMX track. What? And in amongst all of that, if you fail your home club, there is a cemetery just next door if you aren't playing up to scratch. Kelly with the jump, ball high, and Steely deciding against the throw over. Isn't exactly a pitch out. Not as though they were intending to gun down the man at second. Regardless, Manly have got a runner in scoring position with none on. None out. White's going to foul that one, and it's going to stay up in the fence. How many? 2, 3. I believe that's 4 balls stuck in the foul up in the fence here at Fred Catterson Reserve, Knights Field. So if you're not careful when you are catching and someone strikes the ball correctly, you might have 2 fall down instead of just the 1. Kelly with quite an aggressive secondary. Steely shades to his non-glove hand and able to keep it in front. Pivot's shading in, but that one's sent out to Lansom in right. Able to make the grab. No defensive adjustment for Hills just yet. But as Hawke has just covered 60 pitches, don't be surprised if it happens sooner rather than later. The current players that are benched for Hills, you've got Max Plale, got Ben Fogarty, got Ryan Heo. Jack Kelly's going to get the jump, and he's going to get in under Jaden Jang. Saw Steely gun down a runner at third earlier. Kelly just too quick. And strike call. 2-2 count. Ball away. Makes it 2-1. Chopped just over Texas Leaguer. And that'll score a second run for Manly. Justin Turner chopping one over Leclerc. And that'll give Manly the edge. Does bring the 6-hole hitting Jackson Page up to the plate. I want to credit the ground crew here at Castle Hill Junior Baseball Club. The rain that we've had recently that delayed today's events from what were meant to be last week. They've, from what could have been a swampy marsh, bit of a quagmire for those of you that have a thesaurus. This field is giggity good. Pick-off attempt from the Birdman Sam Hawke. Oh dear. Terribly sorry for the terrible joke. Sam Hawke towing the rubble with an 0-1 count. Swings on it, strike two, but not before Turner able to give himself a 380. So with one out and another runner in scoring position, Manly really looking to twist the knife. Time called from Page. Ball up. Hawke, after being so dominant with his fastball, was trying to resort to his off-speed stuff and can't exactly get the snap on it that he's wanting. Ball down and away. Should fill up the count. So with a full count, only one out but a runner on second. And that'll be another 380. Now I'm saying 380 is per junior rules. They play on an 80-foot by 80-foot diamond with, if I'm not incorrect, instead of 60 foot 6 inches, it's 54 flat for the pitching mound. Which is why the dirt area around the infielders is so large. As Birdman Sam Hawke is going to be removed from the game. Ryan Heo is going to inherit two runners. Well, I can get some numbers for you on Ryan Heo, I will, but while he's warming up, we will be back. Ryan Heo taking place on the mound away from the Birdman, Sam Hawke. Before a pitch is thrown, both runners going to get a free pass. Heo being told he's not coming to enough of a set. Here's pitching numbers. Started against MacArthur on the 25th, went 6 1/3. 2 hits and no runs, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. It's the trouble with tournament baseball is you can't exactly get a full picture, but watching Heo warm up, he's got a pretty snappy fastball, and let's just say he's got some stuff. Makes it a 1-1 count. So it doesn't fully close the book on the Birdman, but at the moment he's gone 4 1/3 with 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them were earned, and 4 walks, 2 strikeouts on the day. Book has been closed on Jack Kelly, 4 complete, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks and 3 Ks. And Glamour, who is currently batting, has thrown a complete inning thus far, still active, I would presume. So with an inning complete, no hits and 1 strikeout, I think this is what many would call a pitching duel. What can I tell you about Ryan Heo, another of the illustrious Carlingford Junior players? Also a San Diego Padres fan, and almost on cue, that is strikeout number 1 for Ryan Heo. Time called from the third base coach. I think he's just going to get his signals in. Maybe looks like we're going to have a pinch runner situation. Jackson Page, who is the catcher for Manley. As I do believe we are playing the 2-out catcher speed up rule for those of you that are uninitiated. If a catcher is a base runner and the team has 2 outs, they are allowed to swap out the base runner for the last out on the lineup, regardless of who it is. So with White striking out, no, it's not the last out, it's the last play up prior to them. Johan Thompson, the starting third baseman for Manley. With 2 out and 2 in scoring position. Buzzing the tower does Heo. Thompson pops one up left side. It's going to be awkward, and Jaden Jang's going to find it in his glove. Fortunately for Hills, able to get out of it with minimal damage, but not before the go-ahead run scores. We head to the 6th, the Manley leading 2-1. Glamour going to return to the bump, sorry, not to the dish. To the dish, however, going to see Cody Jeffs, Ryan Heo, and James Lansom. They are your three due up in what is almost do or die time for Hills Blue as we approach the end of the game. The sand in the hourglass and the shadows taking shape. Big swing over strike two. Chopped right side. It's going to get over. It'll be a stand-up single for Jeffs. Starting left fielder for Hills. That one got just over Digby Ross out and right. Unable to get a glove to it. Almost beating the glove, as it were. So with first runner on and a pick-off attempt. Don't be surprised if we start to see hit-and-run attempts and bunts, a bit of small ball, something that the junior ranks do ever so well. Strike call, back pick attempt, and Jeff's in time. Line shot to the third baseman, gets through. Thompson unable to get a squeeze on it as that one is hit all of 100 mile an hour directly at him. Have a look at that. Thompson just missing it. What would have been a miracle grab if he did get a glove on it. Instead of one out runner on first, we've got none out first and second. Pivots shading in. Jeffs with an accentuated hop step and grounded. And the double play. Jack Kelly with the start. Rolls over to Sterling, who rolls over to White. So from none out, runners on first and second to all of a sudden 2 out and a runner on third. I've said it before and I'll say it again, folks. The sand is running out of the hourglass for Hills Blue. Strike one called on Lansom. This is the point where the stats don't matter. It's all about moving the runners and doing what you can for your team. Popped up, it gets down. And that'll score the tying run. You had White, Sterling and Ross all shading in just on the edge of the cutout down the first baseline, and that one's going to funnel its way down to the ground. And it scores Jeffs from third. That was Hayhow batting, sorry. So go back to the top with Max Playle. Playle, known for international play. Did a double when he played in Seattle last year. A very laboured swing. As we are at the end of the line for both squads. It is the last game of the tournament for both of them. Runner goes. And almost with me, just a bit outside. Page sends that one well high on the throw over attempt. Hayhow, after scoring the tying run, is very quick to steal second. Just a bit outside. Glamour with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Another back pick attempt from Manley. Something they've been notoriously good at throughout the tournament is their pickoffs and back pick work. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll put another runner on for Hills. Bring Zach Martin up to the plate, and will Zach be able to answer the call? 2 out and a runner in scoring position. You're holding the fort, protecting the bronze, and going home with some hardware around your neck. Swings on it, right side. That one is going to cut foul into the fans. Swings on another one. This one fouled down the left field side instead. Gains about 40 points in batting average when he's got runners in scoring position, something you want to see from a guy coming up in such an important situation. Strike 3 called. And that'll close out the inning. So after tying up the game, Hills Blue aren't able to push it any further. We head to the bottom. Manley looking to bounce back, 2-all.
Let's go, Jackie.
9, 10, and 11 due up for Manly. You've got Jackson Manners, Ali Cameron, and Digby Ross. It might not be the last-ditch effort for Manly, but certainly getting to that point. That one's fouled right side. Looks like he made the grab. Yes, he did. Excellent play. Jet Creamer to get over just on the edge of the fence. Make the grab. Bring Ali Cameron up to the plate. Ball in the dirt. Pio's returned on the bump, just so those of you are aware. Drew a walk in one of his previous plate appearances. Swing over that one. Now, the point of do or die for both squads if you do want to walk away with the copper. Line shot, right centre, that gets down. Cameron turns, but can stay at first for a stand-up single. With 1 out, the second leadoff guy is able to reach. So after that line shot to shallow right centre, Hayhow was able to cover over as Page is going to show Bunter gets down. And Steely not able to get a clean stand on it. A Digby Ross with a well-placed bunt. Moves the runner into scoring position, and with only one out, got to imagine there's trouble afoot for Hills. Can the boys from Brookvale bring it home? Martin over at second, shading over, as does Leclerc at short. Step off from Heo. Shows bunt. Pulls back, does Sterling. Can the stinger Sterling Stewart puts the bunt down? Is he going to get up the line in time? Doesn't get up, but he moves the runners around, and at this point I think that's more important. Sacrifice bunt from the stinger, and all of a sudden we're back to the top. Harry Webb and Kobe Patrick. This is iron on iron. This is steel on steel. This is some of the best young baseball you will ever see. Can Ryan Heo keep the scorecard clean in this inning? As Webb fouls one deep down the left field line. Left fielder Jeffs returning to his initial spot. Martin playing back pick attempt. No. Second baseman Martin in front of the running line, playing almost on the front edge of the infield cutout. Leclerc playing back. Only a handful of steps in front of the back end of the infield cutout. Strike. And that'll be 3. That'll be the strikeout, would it not? Yes, it will be. Some confusion from the Hills squad as they're not ready to come in, but Manley stay blank in that inning. We head to the 7th. Still a 2-all ball game, folks. Top 7, you've got the meat of the Hills order, the 3-4-5, Leclerc, Jang, and Creamer. Due up. Leclerc and Jang both with a hit on today's game. Looks like Glamour's going to stay put atop the mound. He's currently through 2 innings. 2 balls to Leclerc. That'll be 4 rather, as that gets up. So a 4-ball walk to lead things off in the 7th. So if we get any runs scored by either team and we have a result, this will be the last. If not, we play free baseball, folks. Pick off at 10th. Not exactly a hit and ball trick, but something akin. Leclerc might be looking to get a jump. As almost like clockwork, he gets the run. And standing up, able to get in. Kelly shading and makes the grab, not able to get the tag on in time, however. Jaden Jang with that line shot to left field earlier in today's proceedings could become a factor if his bat stays hot. Both pivots, only a handful of steps as Leclerc's going to go again. And he's safe at third, gets under the tag. Ball back to the pitcher, and Jang only a hard hit ball to the outfield away from putting Hills up. Anything that touches grass anywhere really is more than likely going to score the runner from third. And with none out, Hills have the momentum swing majorly their way. Ball 3. Line shot left side. Just fair. That'll score. That'll find its way all the way out to the outfield fence. Jang's going to go. He's going to get in. Slides in at third. And to break it open, a triple. You talk about swapping places. Well, with a man on third to find yourself at third. Well, that is a thing of beauty. The entire infield all shading onto the infield grass. Chopped weakly. And some excellent mobility from Webb out in center field to sneak in behind Kelly and turn in between Kelly and Turner, make the grab for the first out of the inning. You get some stat track on that, you'd find that that is a long way away from where he was initially fielding. Brings Steely up to the plate. Grounded left side, it gets through. Thompson can't read the awkward bounce. And Jaden Jang, after breaking it open with that run-scoring triple, gets brought in himself. Again, that momentum swing just so dangerous in a baseball aspect. Gonna have a mound meeting. So Steely able to capitalise on what I'm gonna call a hung pitch. And Glamour is going to get pulled.
Well done, Dylan.
Looks like Kobe Patrick going to find his way onto the mound, and we'll have some numbers for you shortly. We'll let him get warmed up and we will be back. Hills scoring 2 early in the 7th. as mentioned a moment ago, Kobe Patrick taking place on the mound. Runner goes. And he's out.
Well done, Jackson.
Steely with a jump, but just not quick enough. Gunned down at second. That ball down and away in the dirt. Got the Birdman Sam Hawke up to bat. And Kobe Patrick has thrown 3 1/3. Threw 3 against Hills Red, the other Hills squad. And what I'm going to assume was a relief outing. 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them were earned. 3 strikeouts, no walks. So a pretty successful outing. If getting the score line, you're not going to complain when a guy goes 3 and strikes out 3. Be 3 balls for Patrick. Ball in the dirt, and Birdman's going to take a walk. It's only about a fortnight ago that the Right Association brought home the gold in the Senior League state title. Again, those Matt O'Neill offences are often a struggle. Relentless, I think, is the term many would use. Pick-off attempt from Patrick. Ball gets away. Walk's going to find himself at second, and with 2 out. And Fogarty up, who's hitting that .615 average. Hills are in a pretty good spot. Another ball away, and Hawke's going to find himself with another free 80 over at third and 80 feet closer to scoring position. Another mound meeting, this time not going to see the removal of a pitcher, just a, hey man, don't stress, we might be down, but we are definitely not out. Still a lot of work to be done, and if you trust you guys, will be okay. Quite impressive toss from the first base coach for Hills. Just casually watching that mound meeting, all of a sudden you see an ankle guard and a handful of batting gloves fly through the air. Ball in the dirt. Brett Lennox, the first base coach for Hills, with, I'd love to get a replay of that between innings. Strike called on Fogarty. Makes it a 3-1 count. 2 out. If Patrick can just close the door, Manley will have the chance to respond and close out this game. Grounded, right side. White picks it up, makes the play at first. So we will head to the bottom. Manley down by 2, needs 3 to win, 2 to tie. Other than that, Hills have got the copper in their own backyard. We head to the bottom. Still a 4-2 ball game.
Bring the energy, Manley.
It is do or die for Manly in this bronze medal match. Patrick, Kelly and White, the 2-3-4 punch in Manly's lineup. Ball one called. Hio is going to return to the mound in this closing situation. Hangs the off-speed high, unable to get it down enough.
Come on, Manley.
It's at 2-0. It'll be ball 3, high and tight. Some would call it long relief, some would call it close. Me personally, I call it just damn good pitching. And strike one. Patrick thought he was going to get the free walk, and to no avail, unable to dissuade the home plate umpire. Grounded, left side. Unfair. That one's going to trail all the way out to left field. He's going to turn. He's going to stand in at second, and it will be a lead-off double down the line for Patrick. When Manly need it, the heroes come knocking. Don't touch that dial. Don't move from your seat. This is going to be a ball game, folks. Ball up and away. The back pick attempt. Do unto others what they do to you. Unable to make it worthwhile. Steely had the throw down, but Martin wasn't able to get a clean collection. Another hung off speed up. Jack Kelly, the dangerous power hit. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an intentional walk. Fastball down the middle. Centre fielder gets the grab on it. And Patrick not wanting to advance. Hayhow playing way back on that fence, if you have a look at that. Knowing exactly how dangerous Jack Kelly can be. Jack the Ripper, as he's more affectionately known. Brings Max White up to clean up the rest. Well, with one out and a runner in scoring position. Any hole that you can put a ball into is, well, it's right now for Manly. Ball in the dirt. Patrick, again, that aggressive secondary, finding himself a third, almost halfway down the line. Martin closing in on second. Line shot, left side. Martin's going to go. No, not Martin. Patrick's going to go. Patrick's going to turn. Patrick's going to be in safe. Jaden Jang going to take the cut off. And White cuts the deficit to 1. Justin Turner now up to bat. Time called. We're going to see a pitching change, or is this more of a composure meeting? You've cut these guys down earlier. You've had the upper hand on a lot of their batters all day. Can you finish the job? One out, runner on first, and that ever so pivotal tying run at first.
Let's go, JT.
Justin Turner swinging massively over strike one. Swings on strike two as well. Cullum, he's surprised that White hasn't had a jump just yet. Try and put that, again, ever so important tying run in scoring position. With one out, you might just risk it, and Turner's going to get rung up swinging.
Now's your time. Let's do it.
Manly down to their last out in this bronze medal game. Jackson Page swings over strike one, no back pick attempt. Steely goes for it, decides better of it. Manly down to their last two strikes. Ball in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. All of a sudden, White's standing in scoring position. Anything that touches outfield grass, you've got to imagine that Manly are going to try and send their man. Popped up and foul onto the roof of the press box. Manly down to their last strike. Curveball down and away. 2-2.
Pick the right one.
Can Heo finish the story? Ball. Make the count full. Full count, 2 out, and a tying run on second. Popped and foul again. The longest at bat of the day, and it couldn't come at a better time for Manly. Theo steps off. Take a breath, kid. The biggest pitch of your young career is coming right now. Line shot, center field. Put the snags onto Sizzle Pops. This ball game is over. A long and drawn out slugfest that stayed close right to the death. Hills Blue closing it out with a 4-3 win over Manly. And a box score that reflects every part of it. 4-6-0 for Hills and 3-6-1 for Manly. But folks, if that isn't good baseball, go get your eyes checked. As is tradition, I'll give you my player of the match. It's got to go to my man Jaden Jang, the starting third baseman for Hills. Drove in the first run, or the first hit. Drove in the winning run and gave that bit of insurance that Hills desperately needed late in the affair. We will be back soon, folks, roughly around 5:10 for the gold medal match between Cronulla and Hills Red. I have been Grady Roberts, and on behalf of Baseball New South Wales, thank you for watching.